The most expensive.
Yeah.
You can spend money for different stuff.
Yeah.
I think so people spending money in wrong places.
I know, right?
Yeah. How are you spending your money?
Not well.
So this is like a place for improvement?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like my money, especially because I'm in the middle of moving house.
Okay.
From my parents' house to a flat. And I'm just like, oh my god, it means I actually have to like take care of bills.
Oh, this is your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, this
I've
is a
never
big
moved
step.
out.
This is a big step.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did I ever tell you? I did a testing once, 23andMe.
Oh, you did
Did I ever tell?
23?
Yeah. Did I
Yes.
ever tell you that?
Yes, you mentioned before.
Yeah.
But,
It was
but then
weird. It was. Can I just tell you it was weird?
Why?
Because I was expecting to find something amazing. You know, I was expecting to find something amazing that, like, you know, I thought, you know, nobody ever knew. But I wasn't surprised by anything.
No.
I was just like, yeah, you're Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem of those kind of tests.
I was like very like, you mean I spat 30 mils into a test tube just to be told I'm Chinese?
Yeah, that's the reason. Like when we started the circle, we didn't offer this on the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we are in Asia.
Yeah.
If you do this kind of stuff, it was like you're Chinese. It's 23andMe. It was interesting. Because it was for American markets.
Yes, it is.
So everybody's America, they will tell you like.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the stuff that it came out, like, I mean, I got some genetic stuff which is really interesting, but it was very sort of like, you talk about it to anyone in Hong Kong who even like a well-versed person in Hong Kong, they'll look at you going, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The only person who knows exactly what they're talking about and would order abbreviations is my doctor.
Yes.
Like, she's the only one who's like, you've got this gene, you got this gene, and I'm like, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
And like even like in the UK, because like I've got family who are medics and stuff, they're like, we've never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so weird, and so I'm just like, yeah.
But you know, later we can talk about the details. It's stuff like the circle, what we are doing.
Yeah.
It has a new technology called the full exome. So
You have to spit.
you know, just take like a scribe inside of your mouth.
Oh, okay.
Just take a saliva for like couple seconds because just destroy a little bit of tissue inside.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Put in the tube, shake it a couple of times, send it back to the lab. And later, in a couple of days, you receive the report, and you receive like over 500 different reports. And it's not only like the family, where you're from, but it's a lot about the nutrition part.
Because I think like I've read about it. I've read like that it's all about like how you can better yourself.
But also we have pharmacogenomics, and pharmacogenomics will be very, very interesting for you because this is the list of medication, you know, what you're taking.
That works and what doesn't work? Or?
And it's exactly how your body reacts to those, and if your body rejecting, or for example is neutral, or for example your body more than the average person to even indicate the change.
Oh,
yeah, so yeah, the subject, I can talk about this all day long, but let's talk about you. It's like, you know, we know each other for a couple of years already.
Yeah.
Like face to face, we bounce to each other.
Yeah, I think did we meet on a beach?
Yeah, we met on the beach. Yes.
We met on the beach.
Yeah, we met on the beach.
Yes. I think it was the beach vibes. I was refereeing. I think. And I think you came running up to me.
Yeah.
And I think we were like, yeah, let's keep in touch. And then nothing really happened.
Yeah, it was like, if you know, if I travel, you travel, you're busy. I'm busy, yes. And then, but now we are here.
Took a while.
But you know,
Took a while.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing was always, you know, was from the first time when I saw you was that you know, you have like you sparkle happiness. I'm sorry, I want to be like really honest with you, but you sparkle happiness, you know, and this is and happiness. This is something what I strive always through my life, always like it's, you know, researching this from the young age, you know, reading about this subjects, what is talking about it, and then can you like share like, what is happiness for you?
I think it's really, I've got to admit that being like happiness, it doesn't always come easy to me. I actually find it really amusing when people are like, oh my gosh, you're so happy, and when actually deep inside you could be having a really shitty day. But for me, I just try to live as much as I can and try to see the positives in life. It's not always easy because, you know, when you're walking down the street and you've got kids and even adults staring and, you know, making remarks at you in Chinese and in English.
And you understand both?
I can't understand Chinese actually, but I can understand the implications.
Yeah.
You know, because
body language.
Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult to work out the body language. And so that can be quite difficult sometimes, and so so sometimes I can really struggle to be happy and be positive, and sometimes, as I'm sure you've seen, I don't know, but I will rant online sometimes.
Yeah.
And but overall, I think it's just having friends and people around me who try to emit some sort of positivity so that I can get that.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Did you, for example, because I see this as a kind of muscle. You need to train yourself.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
To be happy. Yeah.
I think, I don't know if you have to necessarily train yourself to be happy, but it definitely doesn't come easy.
Yeah.
I think you know what, maybe you're right. I think we do have to train ourselves to be happy sometimes.
Because you know, like even when the science talking about it, like if you putting like just smile on your face, if you're making the call, for example, when I you know, interact with the people who are preparing for some jobs or just, you know, talking about life, you know, simple things. Smile before, couple breath, and next make a call.
Yeah.
So automatically it will be a little bit different.
But I think also you've got to, you know, if you're smiling as well, you kind of got to feel it as well. Because if you're smiling but you're really shattered inside, or you know you're really broken inside, you're putting a fake smile on. You know, you're faking it when you're really not feeling it.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, sometimes when you have those sad moments, you need to, you know, ventilate them.
Yeah, you've got to put a facade on sometimes, and I admit that I have to do that quite a lot actually. Yeah.
Because, you know, maybe because you're receiving more than the average person. Yeah,
and I think, you know, I hate to admit it, but I do receive a lot of crap on the daily. Like daily, you know, like, cause like any day, like I never know what's in store. I never know, you know, once I step out of the house, am I gonna have a good day or am I gonna have a bad day? Like I never know, and sometimes like there's no way of preparing yourself, you know, for what can come.
So what are you doing lately? How's your? Because we met, like you mentioned, on the beach. you were referring the rugby.
Yes.
And you played before rugby also.
I never played.
You never played?
I never played.
Wow.
So actually my rugby refereeing journey came very interesting because like I wanted to play. Don't get me wrong, I really wanted to play. But because of my skin condition, which of course is a little visible, at the time I was about 18 years of age and I had very brittle bones. So I don't know how much. Do you know much about rugby?
About rugby? Yeah, I played one season and I said no, thank you, it's not for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll know that in rugby you get tackled to the ground and it's quite hard punching, quite brutal. My bones could not tolerate that.
Yeah.
And so my parents were like, okay, so you can't play rugby. But what they also told me as well was that rugby is a very inclusive sport. you can do lots of things and still be a part of the game. So initially they said, go down to the local club. So I went down to USRC Tigers. They play in Kowloon. And I helped out for a season. Very quickly I was summoned, but also asked if I could help out with the Hong Kong Rugby Union. So that's like the big guys already within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks of joining a club,
wow.
I was already asked, can you help out at union level? And so I helped out, and all I did, Mark, was just paperwork. And it was boring, but they ordered pizza box. They ordered good food. It was great, and we had a chit for ice cold drinks, which was great. But after about a season or so, I started to get really bored, and I wanted more. I wanted more out of it. I didn't want to just spend the rest of my life just filling out game sheets.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Why don't you coach?" And I thought coaching is a good idea. However, there is one slight problem. Having never played the game, I don't know how one can coach a game having never played.
Yeah, exactly.
And somebody said they're looking for referees. I thought, okay, let's see how this goes. So we did, and I did the course. I did the course when I was about 19. I'm 26 now. I did the course when I was 19. I did my on-field testing. I had to do a law quiz, which really very interesting. And I haven't looked back since. Wow. And it's been close to 7 years.
7 years. How many games did you?
So.
Because this is semi. Full time, or is just a side hobby?
So the thing in Hong Kong is that it's very difficult for it to be a full-time job.
Yeah.
Because Hong Kong, for one reason, is not a tier 1 nation. So when I say a tier 1 nation is like the Northern Hemisphere, like England, Wales, Scotland, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. Okay. Those are considered tier 1 nations, so they'll be the guys who've got the World Cups and things like that. They're like the big guys. Hong Kong is not.
Tier 2, tier 3? Tier 4?
Tier 3.
3?
Tier 3. No, but we are we're getting there. We are getting there because Hong Kong rugby is getting actually better. But anyway, what was I saying?
Those two.
Yeah. So because of the tiering, it's very difficult to get the same support that one would get, say, in the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
But so a lot of people, me included, it's a side job. It's like a weekend. It's like a weekend hobby.
Got it.
It's a very good weekend hobby as well. My remit is under 12 rugby. And there is a reason I do that because my skin condition, Harlequin ichthyosis, it can be quite difficult for me to regulate my temperature, my body temperature, and also to keep my strength up. Because as we all know, a rugby game is 80 minutes, and for me, it's a very strong possibility that I could struggle to keep up my energy for that long.
Exactly.
So it's easier for me to do like low levels because then I have more chance of a gap, more chance of a rest to recover, then go on again.
Exactly.
But I am trying to work on improving so I can get a little higher.
Yeah, and it's so let's, because I don't exactly know. So what kind of condition you have?
It's a genetic skin disorder. It's called Harlequin ichthyosis. It's a group, so the name ichthyosis is a group of skin disorders ranging in severity. And here's the fun part, my condition, Harlequin, is the rarest of the lot.
So you're unique by definition.
I also happen to be the 4th oldest in the world with it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So it's not infecting only visually the human, but it's also affecting inside also your body.
Yeah, because the thing is like it affects the internal organs. I mean, it affects our skin, which is also a massive organ.
Yes.
It affects everything, and I think I could also say for me it
But you
also
mentioned bones before.
bones, breathing.
Breathing, wow.
Because normally when this is the thing, like previously when babies were born with Harlequin ichthyosis, they wouldn't live for very long because when they're born, their skin is so tightly wrapped around their lungs and their chest, which restricts breathing. So, respiratory distress could have been a cause of death. Skin infections because of big open cuts. Obviously, medical advances are much better now, so there are more people surviving, which is really good.
Yeah, of course.
It's really good because there's more research that's being able to be carried out and stuff. But I am definitely first generation survivor. The oldest one is 35, I think. She lives in the UK. But between you and me, and I'm gonna brag here, I am also the fittest and the sportiest.
Yes, this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Health and fitness. How to keep yourself with any type of condition.
I'm quite I push myself a lot in terms of wellness and fitness because I think like for a while there was always that mortality, there was always that mortality thing for me, like I could drop at any moment.
Yeah, you have, we technically know we'll be gone one day.
Yeah, we know, but sometimes our time will come earlier. Because, for example, there was this one woman who unfortunately did pass away when both of us were 24, so 2 years ago. And it was so sudden because like one day we were talking online, the next day, I wake up and my mum's like, she's passed away. We found out what actually happened, which I won't divulge because I think that's between the family and me. But it really made me question my health and my mortality, and also what I can do to improve my health so that I don't end up.
Yeah, look at I don't know if you watched the movie by Stephen Hawking.
I heard about it, but I actually never got the chance to because
this is one of those cases when when he discovered his sickness and went to the doctor, they give him months.
But then he lived for years, right? And he only passed away how many years ago? 1, 2, 2 years ago?
Kind of like almost lately. So what do you do for your fitness now?
Well, honestly, one of the biggest things I do is I listen to my body, because obviously even though I try to push myself, I have to listen to my body. So, but what I do quite a lot of is I'm quite strict with referee fitness, because we meet every Wednesday at Kings Park in Kowloon, where we have a trainer from the union, the rugby union, and he really puts us through hell.
So do you guys have a physical
we have a physical session. We're sprinting up and down.
Yeah, exactly. Conditioning.
Strength and conditioning. Like we could be puking in the bushes one day. It's not pleasant sometimes. But no, honestly, for me personally, my physical fitness, but also what I eat, I really do try to take a massive interest in. Mentally, not there yet. Mentally, still working on it.
I think so. We work is all our life.
Yeah, I think so what I do a lot of is, I follow people like you.
Thanks.
I try to follow lots of people who are in the fitness world, to try to get ideas from what they do, whether it's strength and conditioning, whether it's their lifestyle, whether it's what they eat. And I try to, use those ideas